Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome out to EQN Sports, driven by Holiday Auto Group. I am Drew Stu, and I'm sitting alongside Denny and Lucas Gentry. We are at the Riata Stallion Incentive. Gentlemen, number 4.
Yes, sir. 4.
Well, Denny, you did it again. How's it feel right now coming into our 4th year? Let's talk about where we've been, then we'll get to where we're going.
I think we're right on track. We've been we're going to be over $4 million this year, so we've been hitting it at about $1 million a year every year, and that's pretty hard to argue with.
Yeah, it's been pretty dang good. Lucas, you've been kind of taking the reins on this deal.
Yes,
man. It from your perspective, it's got to be kind of fun to jump on this ride with Dad and see where it's going.
Oh, it's crazy seeing the growth of this thing and how it's blowing up, and it's been fun. I'll give you that.
Absolutely. I see you guys out there slinging shirts last night outside the trailer in here, hanging signs, and that's what it's all about, isn't it, man?
Going about 9 o'clock doing shirts and everything is part of it.
Yeah.
Start this roping, we'll be good to go.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Danny, we've talked about this $1 million growth. I don't know how many times we have over the years. I've said this many times with you and in interviews. We don't know if it's going to get any bigger. We don't know if it's going to get any bigger. And what was funny at the World Series, it was always like $1 million a year growth. That seems to be kind of your shtick, And but there, with Riata, Take us back. We've talked about it in the past, but take us back to the why. Why is Riata? Why is there a stallion incentive? And why did you see a need in the industry for this type of event?
We're the only discipline left that was paying little or no attention to the horse. Of course, the futurity guys were in there doing their thing, but that was just a small little segment of the team roping market.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 40,000 ropers here on 40,000 horses, and probably got another 40,000 in their pen as backup, and nobody's known what they've won.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what our own industry is. So there was a need to find out, what are they riding? What are they winning on?
Well, we were talking about the numbers and made some notes here. So these numbers are really staggering. You just said it. You just met with the guys at the NCHA a couple days ago. This is the only industry that hasn't been tracking our money. So these are real numbers from 2024. $60 million is what the cutters paid out.
Right.
And this is all trackable money.
Yes.
Okay. $60 million is what the cutting paid out. The barrel racers paid out $67 million.
Right.
The horse racing is still the big one at $150 million. The one that's right in their back pocket is $122 million team roping.
Right.
$122 million, and nobody's been tracking the earnings.
Correct.
Not even close to it.
Now I understand. Now everybody should understand. What are the implications of that $122 million jumping on and following these guys and their horses? What are the implications there, guys? Because they're very big.
Well, and that's the question that we ask the breeders, that we ask the sale barn guys, that we ask the trainers. It's happening anyway, but nobody knows.
Yeah.
But nobody knows, and so therefore there's no, and just in what's being sold on these horses. There's horses that'll be in the 8 rope and that have had $250,000 earned on them in their lifetime.
Yeah.
That horse might sell for $12,000.
Right. Well, I think it's just amazing to me that it's taken us this long. We've talked about it for years and years, making it happen, but it's taken this long. But that is just 2024 numbers. The numbers are going to keep going up as events like this. Of course, the World Series numbers are doing what they're doing. The U.S., all of the global opens, you put everything together. Of that 122, just a real easy breakdown, is AQHA, the futurities, and that are $15 million. Now that has grown. That's grown just in the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, the AQHA Q data was at $5 million in 21, and we came on in 22, and since 22 it's gone to $15 million. And so I'm going to say Riata's probably about a third of that, and the fraternities are about a third of that, and then the rest are what was existing there before, which was NFR and Kef rope and breakaway, all that stuff in there.
Oh, so that $15 million included
it all
was not
roping.
just team rope.
Right. Yeah.
But this over here in global, this 107 million to make the balance 122 million is team roping.
It's team roping, and one of the other things that I might point out is you can only guesstimate what percentage global is. I mean, we all estimate it's about 75% of the total ropings in the United States, but 90% of the money because it's all the big ropings.
Mm-hmm. But not everybody uses global.
But not everybody uses global. So there's
another
out there that
there's probably
every backyard jackpot, every
yes,
unaffiliated, every other thing. So there's millions of dollars out there.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that kind of brings it up to where we are today. And with talking all of this, one thing that's recently happened that is going to really help tie this together, speaking of global, is a recent merger with Equine Network and Riata. The benefits there, Danny, talk about those.
Well, I wouldn't call it a merger. They invested in it heavily, but they own global. Mm-hmm. They own EQN Sports.
Yep.
They own all of the performance data on every roper in the country, and now AQHA's tapped into us, and so we have the horses plugged in on one side, and now we have the cowboys and their money plugged in on the other side.
Put those two things together.
So now this year, go ahead, Lucas.
Well, of that 15-20 million already tracked out of the 122, next goal is how do we get all that 120 million on there, and that's where we go from here. And now that we have Equine Network part of this team, they have all the programmers, the databases, and we actually have the opportunity to be able to track all of that money.
Yeah.
Make these horses' value just explode.
Well, Lucas, that's kind of part of the problem that nobody thinks about, or not the problem, but everybody's like, well, it's easy to track money one.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
I mean, unless you have somebody doing that work, and it takes, like you said, we have 40,000 active team ropers, card-carrying members every year that has rollover and everything else. It's not easy to track, and when you have up to 10 events a weekend, there has to be a massive database.
Well, and this bodes well for all the team ropers out there, because we know the only real way to make team ropers care about turning those earnings is to give them money.
Give them money.
Yeah.
And so we'll figure out how to give them money. And everybody said, well, probably 50% of them are packing around transfer papers that are 5 years old. How are you going to?
Everybody's guilty of that.
Right.
Everybody's
How are
guilty
you
of
going to
that.
get these guys to register their horses? And I said, it's real simple. We'll figure out how to give them money, and then we'll send money to whoever's names are on those papers.
They will get them swapped over.
They will get them swapped.
They will get them swapped over. Well, guys, speaking of swapping over, why don't you guys move on down one? Come on up here, gentlemen. So what the next two guys I want to bring up here are guys that are on the team roper side of it for sure. And here comes the handsome devil himself, Hunter Cook. Oh, Joseph Harrison, Hunter Cook are going to sit down here with us. Joseph, you just manhandle that microphone over there. So we were just sitting here talking about how the game's changed a little bit. Like the futurity game 5 years ago was at about 5 million. Huge jump there. Talk about just on the futurity side of it, how that industry's changed for you, Joseph.
Sure. Well, I mean, when you get guys like, Chad and Ren Richard and Reggie Probst and them together, and they decide they want to do something, obviously they make a big old splash, So that deal, the last couple of years, we've had some really good stuff. Jay Wadham's in there. He put all that stuff together for a long time and has done a great job for us, and we appreciate him and his sweet wife for doing what they've done. Ren and them just stepped it up and made it to where there's real money at one place, So for us, that was huge. As a guy that, for like myself, I quit rodeoing really and just want to stay around and ride some nice young horses and be able to make a living. That made it possible.
Yep. So Hunter, I want to pass this to you now. You guys that are out there making these good horses too, what are the implications of Riata and bringing now the numbered guys into this that are really following? Now we're worried about what our papers are. Now we're worried about riding a Riata. We're worried about horses that are in incentive programs. How does that change that long-term horse game and horse business for guys like yourself?
Oh, it's huge. It just made the market explode. Everyone's talking about, is he Riata eligible, or is he eligible for this? And then for us making them too, it gives them horses somewhere to go after their 6-year-old year in the fraternity world. Because now, Joseph or me showed him, 4 years or whatever, and now you see him in the 12 and you see him in the 13 with this guy and that guy. And it's cool to watch them horses get to have a full career through their life rather than just either showing them or just rodeoing on them. They get to go full cycle, and it's great for the industry.
Let me interject something in there. We did the showcase horse sale there last year during the finale, and we had a spot for about 50 horses, and we had 48 submit their for the horse sale. So we took everything that we got. So we opened up this year, and it went north of 100 quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to bring in some of the fraternity judges to look over them horses to sort which ones were the good ones and which ones were not the good ones, and all them 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds were all there. There were a ton of 4-year-olds in there actually. So what you just said was right on the money on what we saw, and we never saw a sale ever take off like this.
This might be a spot from, I don't know, being naive or whatever, but just looking at it, what I really love about it is this opportunity for you guys to just piggybacking on what you just said, to cultivate great horses at the top. There's always been a spot for them to go on the team roping side of it, but now we're going to be looking as a guy that's more eligible for now as a 6-heeler. Now I'm going to be looking for you guys even more, being like, hey, I want this horse that not only I can go take to Hamilton, the World Series roping, and the finale, but I want to come here for all the money. And so now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking to you guys more instead of just trying to find the backyard unpapered sorrel horse that I can go heel some steers on. It's changing how we look at it, and I think that's pretty dang cool. And still in my mind, guys, it happened fast. I mean, we're looking at 4 years here.
It's funny to say it out loud, but papers for a bunch of the team roping industry for a long time, all papers meant was they could tell for sure how old he was.
Yeah.
That was pretty much
that was it, wasn't it, Joseph?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, and now, with the fraternity game, and now that the Riata buckle, and they've got to be by one of the stallions and that stuff. So now guys are looking at, okay, they're going back 15 years ago trying to figure out how that one was bred.
Yeah.
Because I liked him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why was he good?
It used to didn't matter, but now I liked him. Man, could I get something bred like that I could still ride today at this function? Yeah. So you got breeders that have been in the business for years and years that may have been on the downhill slide. They're coming back up because they had a couple of those studs that eligible for this deal right here or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's made the whole industry, in my opinion, as a whole better.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're talking about now is this building. You guys missed out on it because we were talking about Equine Network bought a piece of Riata about 2 months ago. So now we have access to all of the earnings on all the jackpot ropings, $107 million. And so what that's going to do is we're going to be able at some point here, if we can bait these guys into giving us their earnings, to not know what. Now, this is the way I see it, and you tell me, Joseph, this different, but what y'all are doing with the fraternity, you're trying to set what the breeding programs are going to be. We are too with Riata. Sure. But with this, we're going to be able to determine what does the industry look like. If there's $107 million here, what studs are those out of?
Where's it coming
from?
What
mares?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So once we establish that, then we
earnings
can go.
Don't lie.
They don't lie. And then what we'll do is just go back and say, y'all have the top 5 or 6 or 10 studs here. Come join us.
Sure.
And we can go back and get them and pull them up there.
And Ben's, I'm up here, and I got the opportunity. I want to throw in there that the young stallion that I've been riding, that we've won quite a bit on, New One Time Blues, he is just fixing to be a Riata buckle stallion as well.
Yes, sir.
Reason being is I think that the elite horses, they need to be in this deal.
Right.
They need to be in the Riata.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
So that's something to look forward to for us, just getting to be a part of y'all's deal.
Right.
You know, I hadn't thought about this long term until what you guys just said. So you're right. So now we're going to, as a guy who's just roping at Ropens, I'm going to make sure that I put my horse's papers in my name, because that's. But then
100%.
for you guys, every once in a while, and you see this happen in the Cutting and the Rain Range cow horse all the time. Some studs just wash out. He was a great horse. His babies.
Or they put him in a stud stall,
Yeah.
and nobody ever sees him again.
Exactly. But with these earnings, then you guys will be able to maybe direct your program in a way that maybe I wasn't really thinking about that. Maybe we should go find one and go, you know, like you just said it, that earnings don't lie.
Sure.
And you'll be able to see what the 4s and 5s are roping and winning on that might be a little different than what you guys win on, if that makes any sense, you know. But I think that's a phenomenal deal. One more thing. I know you guys got to go and get them loped down because we're fixing to start here. This one is huge. Chelsea talks about it all the time. This is changing the game on the mare power. Team ropers used to like geldings. This mare deal's changing a little bit too, isn't it, gentlemen?
I think they still like geldings.
They do.
But it's getting more and more important that to have a nice mare around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I'll let you slip that in there just a little bit.
We might be adding some sort of mare program the next.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that was coming. Just slide
more to come on that later.
Yeah.
Give us
Too
a
many-
month-
yeah.
give us a
Let's
month
get
or
this
two.
event over with, and we'll tell
Then
them about that.
God, well,
Well, like the Cutting and the cow horse and the racehorse world, you know, as rope horses, we need some rope horse producing mares.
yeah.
So the more we can get, the more we can ride, the more we can make them, money, big time money earners. Now let's see if they're a producer,
Yeah.
and then build as the roping community, our own, instead of pulling from the cow horse world or pulling
I
from.
love that.
You know, now this is a rope horse producing mare.
Yeah.
And this is what she is, and this, we're not saying, oh, she's out of a cow horse program or a cutting program. Like, this is our mares, our studs, team roping horses.
One of his favorite lines in the world is "cutter rejects."
I don't want to.
Hear it a lot.
Right?
I don't want to reject. I want
Right.
a good one.
You want a good one.
Yeah. If he didn't
When
make
they-
it at that, chances are
He ain't
gonna
gonna make it
for
over
me.
here.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And I've heard on working cow horses and cutting everything. Well, he don't work for us, but he'll work for you guys. And I'm going, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It takes a great individual to keep up with this guy and keep up with, all the best guys at the horse shows or even at the ropings. Like, he's got to be a freak athlete. He's got to be able to stop, turn, run, everything they want him to do, they've got to do for us at a high
To the
level.
nth degree,
Yes.
because you're going 30 miles an hour down there too.
You seen his short round shot at the BFI, a donkey ain't going to be able to do that.
Well, guys, I know you two have got to get out of here and go get them loped down because we're getting ready. Sure appreciate you, and I love how it's coming full circle, gentlemen. And I hope you guys, it sure sounds like it. I think we're in pretty good shape for this team roping game.
I agree. Thank you.
Thanks, Joseph. Thank you, Hunter. Really appreciate you. Well, gentlemen, hopefully you guys aren't first and second out. I think it's pretty cool to hear those guys' perspective right there that are making a living on their backs every single day.
Yeah.
And Danny, your whole career has been about embracing the 4s and 5s. I think everybody's starting to understand how this whole ecosystem can really work together.
Well, and these futurity guys were ahead of the game a little bit. And now we're playing catch up. So they're real important. That's why you'll see here this weekend that our 12 and 14 roping will be two of our biggest ropings. Our 12 will be the biggest rope in the deal. We said we were going to get them to $1 million within 4 years on one division. We didn't quite make it, but we got them way up there.
Yeah.
It's close.
We've got them way
Is it
up
close?
that ladder. I think we're 800,000 or 900,000,
it's
somewhere
close.
in that ballpark. So that 12 could be the one that we were looking for to really send us on this deal. But those guys being ahead of this game with those horses, it's the only roping in the world where the upper numbers have more players than the lower.
Sure.
At this time.
At this
For
time. So talk to me as we get going here. We're starting with the Open. We got Open 14, 13 today. Talk to us. Just give us a high-level report on entries this year, Lucas.
Everything's, I mean, we've been about the same growth every year, and I think we're going to beat that. It's about 20-30%, correct, every year. About. So we're on that trajectory and growing about $1 million a year. So if we can keep that up here in the next couple of years, it's going to be
pretty awesome.
be up there.
So as we get off, let's go ahead and let's really drill down into what we've got going here in just a few minutes. We've got our Riata Open. Now this one's a little bit different. This is the true futurity of the game, correct, gentlemen? Correct. So 5 years old and under, both sides.
Yes, sir.
Both have to be Riata. There's no proxy horses. We'll explain that here in a moment. Everybody's got to be riding a Riata in this one.
Yes, sir.
The horses here can go 2 times, heading
and heeling.
So you can see these horses four times.
Yes, sir.
2 head and 2 potentially. Not everybody's going to do that. Some might, but you have a potential of seeing these horses both ways. We've got 10-second barrier in this one.
Yes, sir.
Right. So we're playing by the open rules, and this is a 5-steer progressive.
Progressive on one. Yes,
go
sir.
Catch them.
Yep.
It's going to be a good roping.
Yes, sir.
Got about 80 some teams in this one, Lucas.
About 80.
Yeah.
Paying out over $350,000 to 80 teams, pretty good.
Yeah. Decent.
It's all right.
All right. A little Wednesday jackpot. Yeah, no kidding. So $350,000, and then when we roll down into these other ropings, the money
shoots on up. Yeah.
Shoots on up.
Yeah, and one thing we did different, we wanted to front load it a little bit this year. So we're adding $50,000 first to every one of the championship divisions. So
really,
if they first place. So if they win, say last year they won $120,000 for first, they win $170,000.
Wow.
So it's just going to boost that first place in all those ropings.
Wow.
So,
well, pretty good deal. As we get down through the week, we'll talk about it. I'm going to hit it real quick, and then we'll get out of here and get to the team roping. But explain the proxy horses this year. You and I had this conversation. I'm not real smart. Kind of forgot about all of it overnight.
Well,
explain how we're doing proxies.
Don't dig too deep into that. It's basically a 3-year-old and younger program for these people that have. Every team's got to have a Riata on it, but a lot of people have horses in training and have colts, and we have a 3-year-old and younger program. And if they own one and have one nominated, we allow them to have a replacement horse, a proxy, or you can call it a helper horse if you want.
Yeah.
But that's that in a nutshell.
And but it's like if it's tied to me, it's tied to me for the whole time. So you don't get to reuse that spot over and over and over again for 5 different riders.
Correct.
It's just me. You have a 3-year-old.
Correct.
And that's that. So
it's tied. The horse are riding, the young 3-year-old or younger, and them are tied together for the whole rope.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So you've got basically one spot for that horse with one rider.
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha. Sir. Very, very cool. We'll talk about that as we get going. Gentlemen, what else? We're getting close to go time here.
We better get going here.
I think it's time to go. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in here. And you want to go to roping.com and watch this. It's going to be awesome. We're going to kick off with our Open here in just a few minutes. And it is going to be outstanding here at the Riata Championships. We kick off with our Open. True Futurity. 5 rounds is going to be a great roping. So on behalf of all of us here at Riata, I am Drew Stew. We will keep bringing you updates and some stories and that here from EQN Sports, all driven by Holiday Auto Group. We'll catch everybody in just a little bit here from the Lazy Arena.